Good evening, everybody, and how are you doing on this wet day, depending on where you're at in America? Where I'm at now in Lower Alabama, it's raining. So if my shit cut out, it's not because they cut me off, it's because it's raining and storming, and infrastructure ain't worth a hoot. You guys get on in here, man. It's going to be a good show tonight. We're going to talk. You see my backdrop moving because the window's open. May be able to hear the rain. The mic might be able to pick it up. It's kind of soothing in the background. So, we're going to rock out with it. All right. You guys get in here. Uh, looking for the links. There we go. All right. For the chat, we're going to drop that in there. Feel free to follow all of my pages. Feel free to donate. We are accepting stars. We are no longer demonetized on Facebook. We are accepting stars. Battle is almost over with. All right. So those are my links. You guys can follow me on Facebook, IG, TikTok, Rumble, Telegram. I'm on pretty much everything other than Twitter, and that's just because they're kind of weird with me. So feel free to hit those links and let me know. So you guys are probably wondering what we're talking about tonight. The obvious Northern Lights. What can I say? The event that transpired this past weekend with the Aurora Borealis reaching all over America. I want to chime in on that. I'm going to chime in on the Aurora Borealis, aka the Northern Lights. We're going to touch on some little bit of conspiracy, but a lot of science tonight. A lot of science. I'll tell you now. We're talking about the ionosphere. We're talking about the magnetosphere and the thermosphere. We're talking about frequency, magnetic waves. In so many words, we're talking about HARP. All right. So just so you know, you get an idea where this is going tonight. And I'm not saying what happened in the sky this past weekend is not Aurora Borealis. I'm not necessarily saying that. What I'm saying is it's real coincidental that HARP had a whole little campaign conference going on this past weekend also. Not to say that they did it or they had something to do with it, but we're going to look into some things that transpired and see if all arrows point to them. All right, we're going to try to condense this. It won't be too long. Last time I talked about HARP, I think we went like 2 hours and some change. It's the weekend. It's Monday. We're not going to do that. All right, we're not going to do that. Now, with all good introductions, we get to bring up DARPA again. And, guys know how I feel about DARPA. I'm always bringing DARPA into play. So, HARP is very old. It's not new. It's not old, but the idea and the theory of it is not old. It goes back to the Tesla coil and the Tesla experiments. It goes also to his documents being stolen. And somewhere around the mid 80s, early 90s, HARP arose out of the ashes. Best way to put it, right? So if you don't know who DARPA is, let's get into that real quick. This is the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. This is essentially the brain to the Pentagon. All right. So on this diagram, as I always say, quick briefing. It's basically a diagram of contracts, testing, psyops, trying to think of a good, just make sure I catch everything. Internet, military, basically the big brain of the Department of Defense is called DARPA. This is where all your ideas and innovation comes from. This is where all your neat movies come from. This is where all the tech and gadgets that you see out, this is where they come from. All right. The idea is that DARPA's had these items or technology or abilities or whatever it is that they can do in that think tank. They've been doing this since maybe the 60s. I got some information on it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this goes back. Got some literature, like I always do. Just like to connect the dots for you guys and give you receipts on everything. Receipts are really important with stuff that we're talking about, and the big thing that I try to do is I want to fix the confusion on why we don't understand what's going on. All right. So a lot of times you hear left and right or up and down, and someone is saying, "Hey, that's a conspiracy," and we're like, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a group of people collaborating against their own ways, which is really kind of what a conspiracy is. But we say conspiracy theory, you interject something that's 50-50 false, 50-50 fake. And DARPA's kind of been that as a think tank for DoD. Now, how we need to understand how this works with DARPA is that they don't exactly have facilities, but they hide in the background of universities and development and research and development and thermodynamics, physics, whatever level of science and mathematics we can go to, astro science and all that, right? Okay, well, DARPA operates inside of the universities and inside of the institutes, just like HARP operates inside of the military and inside of the institutes and universities. When I say institutes, it's not just schools, it's hospitals, schools, banks, businesses, institutes, entities, places. Okay, follow me. So when we talk about this diagram and DARPA and how HARP is related, it paints a very close picture of how they operate and how they're connected. All right. Now, when we get on HARP, all right, let's keep it on subject. We get on HARP. HARP is High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. All right. You hear the auroral in there. I got a little accent, auroral. So that's the Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights, ionosphere, the sky, radio waves. Okay. Frequency. This is what we're talking about tonight. All right. So HARP is essentially a giant field of giant conductors and antennas. All right. So when we see those, we got to know that anything that large of antennas in space is something that's strong, it has real purpose, and it has complete capability of doing multiple tasks. Okay. Let's get to some comments. I see you guys coming in. How you doing? Dan says DARPA, as I understand, do something advanced recon public association. Yeah, that would be the clean term, but you can't hide it anymore. So it's Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, the brain, as I called it earlier. It's the brain. I've heard of that one too. That's kind of to keep you off. This is the brain of Department of Defense and medical and communications, AI, Starlink, satellites, communication. Well, DARPA's tentacles or DARPA's hands in reach are everywhere. Like, you can literally, everything that I'm doing right now is because of them to some extent. Okay. Internet, streaming, communications, this software, all of this, it doesn't come out of nowhere. It's not like someone is sitting there just like, oh, I have one idea. And if they do, they're catching them coming through the institutes, or they're catching them as they're making their patents, and they're bringing them in as testers and research analysts. Like, DARPA's reach in technology is insane. Like, and I'm always a huge fan, just because, one, I know what they are. I get it. Excuse me. I get it. Like, when we think of big brains and think tanks, DARPA is the definition of a think tank. It's not in one sole location. Sure, they got an office in the Pentagon, but you can go on any college campus right now. When we go through this HARP stuff, you're going to see, because I got the University of Alaska Fairbanks pulled up, because they're one of the big people, a part of HARP research and HARP technology and testing out there. All right. So you guys always know I'm gonna give receipts. We're always gonna talk, but I always like to chime in on DARPA. Like I don't want to. I got a target on them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got a target on them. So this goes back to the conversation of like DEWs, high energy weapons, direct energy weapons, infrared, different things we've talked about, right? My mouth is dry. All right. Now, how does this play into everything? All right. This past weekend, you heard about the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis, and how it was extending all the way down to Florida. It's extending down to like places like Phoenix and Texas. I didn't see it in Alabama. They say that I heard some rumor that you could have used your phone to see the Aurora Borealis. Listen, that don't believe that. I didn't even waste time going outside to do that. Okay. But I saw a lot of chatter in different places on different social media networks about this not being something they're able to do. And I want to counter that as they can do this. It's just we as humans in our faith, in our belief, want to believe that the Most High, the man upstairs, the big man, the real big man, not these weird people down here, but the big man, right? He's the only one that's able to do this. This is something that you can't tamper with, you can't recreate. I like to differ. Okay? We've all heard of Project Bluebeam, okay? Again, this is just conversation, okay? I'm not confirming nor denying. We're just having this open dialogue right now. If you've heard of Project Bluebeam, then you understand where faking events and faking visual concepts to people is possible. Now, I've shared multiple videos on billboards looking four-dimensional, realistic, and it looks like it's floating in midair is what I'm trying to get out, right? I always want to explain it to you in just the simplest terms without all the extra metaphysical and all that, right? Let's get down to meat and potatoes. Project Bluebeam is set up to fake the second coming of Christ. No, that shit sounds crazy. I know it. But, this is a real conversation. And when we talk about HAARP has been known, or not known, but allegedly involved in weather manipulation, ground activity, and if you believe it, dudes. Okay. Now, this is just hearsay. I'm here to show you that they are capable and willing to do these things because they're already saying it openly. They're doing these things. I am not here to stroke your fear cord. I'm not. I'm here to show you that the things that people believe that are fake aren't exactly fake. Like they're just artificial. Like artificial intelligence. You can use it for good and bad. Just depends on how and who's wielding it. Okay. See you guys in here talking to him before we kind of get into this a little bit of information and these images. Says Daniel says this Aurora event wasn't natural. I know the difference. I heard a lot of it over Geneva when Obama was there for president. Okay. So, all right. What he's kind of alluding to right now is this technology has been done, it's been used, it's happening. Now I want to show you guys some images of what it looked like, okay? This is what they showed you on the news. These are the images they showed you, right? Okay, these are the images that were coming from around America. I know the top left is Chicago. I know the bottom right is Atlanta. I believe the bottom left is, I want to say Oregon, and that top right one is, I could be wrong, but I want to say Phoenix Valley. Could be wrong. Could be Cali. My bad. Sorry. All right. Now, this is what we have seen, right? Now, the real Aurora Borealis is very detailed. It's a very beautiful image. I've never seen it in person. I've only seen the videos. I've only seen pictures. Bucket list thing to go see the Aurora Borealis at least once in my life. So now I didn't see it this weekend, like I said, but others did. They took pictures. They say they saw stuff. This is what it looks like. Now, while this weekend this is happening, and on the news it's being reported as coronal mass ejection from the sun, blast plasma through the space, and then it's coming here and ripping and hitting Earth and creating electrical disturbances. It's creating GPS malfunctions, which I guess plays into the last month of events in America. And essentially destabilizes our ionosphere and our magnetosphere to where it could cause, I guess, EMP. Basically the setup to Blue Beam, right? Kind of a setup, all right? Simple explanation. All right, now this is also what was firing off this past weekend. DARPA's weather manipulation tied to a HAARP facility ran high-frequency tests just before Northern Lights. John Fleetwood, May 11th, 2024. NASA's HAARP antenna station was testing its high-frequency transmitter right when official narrative says, quote-unquote, solar storm caused northern auroras. Again, this is stuff off the internet, okay? This is just what was in the tabloids. And if you look at it, it says the research campaign, High Frequency Auroral, Active Aurora Research Program, May 8th to May 10th, 2024. They fired it off. They turned it on. They used it. This is like the time they told us they were going to turn CERN off and not do it again. They told us in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, that they would turn HAARP off, but here we are 10 years later, HAARP is rolling. So again, this is just science. This is testing. This is no more. This is the official narrative that we get right now, is that this is testing. And there's nothing wrong with testing in science. I'm just here to answer some obvious questions as to what we may be seeing or not seeing. So I want you guys to think about this, right? I'm finna share my screen. Let me bring my face in real quick. All right. Hey, there you go. So with all this discussed, a little bit of information put out, right? I got some video, I got some colleges, I got some information we want you guys to kind of look over with me, all right? Hear me out. Hear me out. We're gonna cut to this quick video. It's not quick, it's 5. I'm not gonna play the whole video. We're gonna get through it though, all right? Just bear with me. I need you guys to take this information in. I need you to understand that this is all surface level. This is stuff that can all go and we can all go look up and find, all right? This is not like we are spreading some type of propaganda and some strange fear narrative like mainstream media does. That's not what we're doing right now, okay? We're doing collective research amongst everybody, all right? Let's all say it in the comments. What are we doing, people? Collective research among the masses, okay? Collective research is what we're calling this tonight. All right, now bear with me. Share the screen. First one. Here we go. All right. I'll make that big for you guys. We're going to smooth that back. cute video, right? This is the University of Alaska Fairbanks, okay? Now, as we look through this research with everything that's gone on, and when we talk about the new 5G networks and the technology that people are all raving about, who's to say what this really is? Outside of us, that we say these things, right? We're saying, oh, they're just testing, or it's some type of weapon. I can't neither confirm nor deny these things. I can show you the information and present it to you. So now I have more content, all right? I got more video. Now, before we get to this, feel free to follow the Daily Rabbit Hole. Let me put my link back in here. All right. There you go. Find me on all platforms with the exception of X, because they're uberly difficult with me. So everywhere else, you guys can find me. Feel free to donate. I'm accepting stars. Thank you very much. On to the next video. All right. Now this is old. All right. Remove. Stop sharing. We're going to go to another one. This one's really old. This is when it used to come on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the day, guys. If you guys are old school conspiracy people, collective research analysts, CRAs, then you know that you've seen this old video before, right? This is an old one. Very old.
In 1993, the FAA started warning pilots to stay away from a certain section of airspace over Alaska. The U.S. government was experimenting with a new breed of high-altitude electronic technology that was significantly altering the Alaskan airspace. The experiments continue to this day, and critics are warning that this project could have global effects that will destroy our planet. In Alaska, the rugged, pristine wilderness is timeless, most of it remaining just as it has for thousands of years. In the midst of all this natural beauty, just outside the small town of Gakona, stands an enormous and seemingly harmless antenna farm. It is a $100 million Air Force project known as HARP, and critics of the soon-to-be completed facility charge it just may turn out to be the ultimate doomsday machine.
It's got all the marks of Dr. Strangelove on it.
HARP is an acronym for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. According to program manager John Hesher, HARP is a research facility designed to study the ionosphere.
All the military have communications, surveillance, navigation systems whose paths either traverse the ionosphere or reflect from it. And so we need to be very careful about what we know about it and how we study it. What we're interested in is what is the effect of a large input of energy on the ionosphere.
The ionosphere is the outermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere. It is part of an electromagnetic field that keeps out harmful solar and cosmic radiation. One visible effect of the sun's rays hitting the ionosphere is the aurora borealis, known as the northern lights. The ionosphere also plays a vital role in worldwide radio communication.
The first transmission of radio waves across the ocean were quite a surprise when it was first done. People thought there'd be no chance to transmit the signals across the ocean by wireless. And in fact, what the ionosphere does is act like a mirror. And so you transmit a signal and it bounces off the ionosphere, then it bounces off the Earth.
When HARP is fully operational, it will transmit extremely powerful blasts of high-frequency radio waves directly up into the atmosphere, superheating the electrons that make up the ionosphere. This will cause them to disperse, effectively punching a hole in the ionosphere.
But hold that thought. Where my face at? Bam. Listen. This, I say it so many times, is not new. It's not new information. I was 10. This was on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm 38. I'm a millennial. I'm a wall break. I'm a millennial. I grew up in the sci-fi era. I grew up watching all the conspiracies on Discovery Channel, TLC, sci-fi. I grew up watching this stuff. This is not new. This is what got me into this at the age of 10. I'm 10 and 95. Okay, guys, I'm 38. What are we talking about? What are we saying right now? If they were reporting it on the news back then, they were having conversations. Little small entities that weren't bought out yet were still getting regional play. You could still find these conversations being had. Late night Sci-Fi Channel, on Discovery, TLC, hell, some History Channel when it was still talking about real history and not aliens. The whole entire conversation. Look, with collective research, as collective research analyst, okay, how many times do you have to see the same pattern before you become a pattern recognition specialist? Excuse me. It heats up the ionosphere. We're essentially tearing a hole in our own ionosphere right now. Allegedly. Allegedly. Okay. Now, I'm going to screen share something else. I'm not done with that video. Just give me a second. All right. Give me a second. Because I got all kinds of information right now. Like, is this it? Yep. Here it is. Look at this. All right. Let me switch that over. All right. Research campaigns. I want you guys, I'm going to read this out to you. Okay? Hear me out. Hear me out. You're reading it now. Just read it now quietly. Hear me out. Scientists at HAARP use high-frequency radio transmitters to heat small regions of the ionosphere and observe the effects. Test. Research testing. For traditional space research using ground-based observations or experiments on sounding rockets. I'm not entirely sure what that one is. I'm sorry, we're going to go back to that because I looked at it earlier. This could explain the horns in the air, the sounding, frequency, sounds. Frequency is sound and color and everything around us. All right, now peep game. It can take an extremely long time, days, weeks, years, to get the desired natural overhead conditions. Satellites can amass much larger databases, but it is difficult to coordinate the satellite with desired phenomena. So your satellites cannot do it. They lied to us. The satellites aren't. They have to, and if they are, they're LEOs, low Earth orbiting satellites. Project Blackjack. We've talked about this thing, okay? Listen. With the facility like HAARP, it is possible to perform an experiment at will to create plasma structures in irregularities. Use the ionosphere like an antenna to excite low-frequency waves, create weak, luminous aurora-like glows, and a variety of other experiments. Weak, luminous, aurora-like glows and a variety of other experiments. Weak, luminous, aurora-like glows. Thank you. I had to do it for myself. It is in your face. I'm not saying the aurora borealis is fake. I'm saying what you're seeing could be an expanded version, manipulated, possibly through high frequency. This stuff is real. It is not fake. It's not fake, people. Listen, they have to tell you the truth to some extent. If we're all collective research analysts and we know the rules of the research we've gone through, in various niches and categories and every spectrum of this collective research, we know that they have to tell you to some extent. And they're sitting here, damn it. Excuse, let me highlight that part again. Create weak, luminous aurora-like glows. They already know how to do it. They were testing it 6 months ago. I found that article. This is nothing new. Stop letting them tell you on the media that, oh no, it was never that. You literally had a conference to test it the whole weekend. What are we talking about? You literally admitted it. But on mainstream media, I'm telling you now what they tell you. That was the real Northern Lights. To some extent, it is, but to some extent, it is not. What? Damn it! Low, weak luminous aurora. Excuse me. Look at it. Look at it. I'm telling you now, how do you think they did it? There are antennas spread out through America. This is not hidden. They talk about this shit too. It's not like it's unheard of, right? It says the scientists who may conduct research on university physicists and engineers, their students, government scientists, and scientists from commercial firms having an interest in the ionosphere and in communication and radio science theory and application. Several universities have played a role in HAARP from its inception to its present time, including University of Alaska, Stanford, Penn State, Boston College, Dartmouth, Cornell, Maryland, University of Massachusetts, of course, MIT, UCLA, Clemson, and the University of Tulsa. Again, they are in the universities. The brightest minds that you are sending to the schools, they are working on this. They are working on different industries, different technologies, all inside of DARPA, and it is sitting clearly in your face. It's in your face. It's not like their people are making this stuff up. My job for you guys is to start accepting the information as it comes to you. Not taking my word for it, but me showing you in various places and respectable at that. They didn't even hide it on the website. That's surface level. Come on. They're not even hiding it. They literally said it creates weak, luminous, aurora-like glows. They know what they're doing. So when we talk about, when we add in CERN, chemtrails, if you believe that kind of thing, we add in the new antennas, the new 5G network, and we add warrantless surveillance with FISA 702 involved. Come on, guys. I can't paint a better picture at this point. Look, this is our collective research, right? This is our collective research group tonight, right? We're all in here learning. You guys are giving me comments and giving me information that I didn't know, and we're all sharing information together on a platform that allows us to do this. Okay? Now, when I say all of that, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know. You do. But when this video, when other people watch it, and I hope there are so many new people who feel like this stuff isn't theoretically possible or it defies the laws of physics. I'm here to tell you the laws of physics were broken a long time ago. We just don't know that they were broken. They showed us in many ways, but they didn't really tell us how they broke them. But they broke them, but they show us in small ways. Like here's a theory, right? Geneva, Switzerland is where the large hydrogen colander, or hydrogen, whatever, large hardened colander is located at, right? Had to get it out. Now there's one in Chicago, and there's one in Tennessee, and there's one at UCLA. There are 4 in America, or 3 in America, that no one knows about. Absolutely nobody. Only people who know do collective research. Now, when we talk about what the LHC does in Geneva, it is a particle collider. It speeds up particles so fast, and they punch them together. And what happens is, if you do it correctly, underground with VLF, or very low frequency waves, we're going to get into that conversation too, because if underground is emitting waves too, and they're low frequency, or very low, or ultra low frequency. Okay, there's 3 different levels of this. The further you go, the lower the frequency has to travel, because the ground is very dense. It goes through. It's not like high frequency or like cell phone transmission. High frequency is cell phone. That's why if you go like to your local downtown and there's too many people downtown, you don't get signal, because that's high frequency. Is too many people on one frequency. Okay, now follow me. Okay. Now, in Geneva, Switzerland, the particle accelerator and collider has multiple parts that test it, like Atlas. There's like 2 other sections. I'm sorry, I can't remember the names. Okay, but I know one of them is called Atlas. It helps speed it up, and then it'll collect antimatter and plasma, dark matter, in the other stations circled around it. This is all surface level. You can go to the CERN website. Collective research, people. We are not pushing conspiracies. This is collective research on new technology that we are discovering in modern day 2024. Okay. Now, when you collide stuff like that with low frequency is stronger than high frequency. So low frequency can carry the energy better. We have seen numerous videos that show you strange clouds, show you crazy lightning storms over Geneva where they're doing the testing. Now, can I confirm or deny that they're real? I cannot. I can neither confirm or deny. But this is just basic stuff that has circulated amongst our social media platforms. Okay? Guys, go on YouTube and watch this. You go anywhere and find a lot of this stuff. Just type it in and look for it. I swear it's there. All right? Now, CERN would be the low frequency machine, and HAARP would be the high frequency machine. You see where I'm going? And then we're stuck in the middle, because they're manipulating the ultra low frequency and the high aurora frequency. And we're stuck in the middle, being smacked with frequency, because where we live at, and this isn't anything false, if you guys know about gardening, you know you can put a copper rod in the ground and it can emit frequency and help your garden grow quicker. This is nothing that's unheard of. Nothing. Okay? So what I'm saying is that our brain, our think tank, the brain of the government, has essentially figured out how to actually manipulate and use ions, low frequency, high frequency, in experiments and in multiple ways. They do not discuss all of the ways that they do it, but they do tell you that they create weak, luminous, aurora-like glows. As you stare into these pictures, weak, luminous aurora-like glows. I'm not saying all of them, because the real one, where it actually happens at around that pole, allegedly, it still happens on a regular. I'm not talking about that aurora borealis. I'm talking about the one that got extended, like your Bluetooth can be extended, like your Wi-Fi signal can be extended, like anything that has a frequency and and oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Frequency, and there's another word I'm looking for. But as long as it has frequency and an address, it can be amplified in any form. And if you don't believe me, ask your cable company. Ask your cable company when you go over your monthly gigabytes, and they say, do you want to add more? What do you think that they're doing? They're amplifying your shit. They just hit the button and it hits harder. You can go buy a Wi-Fi amplifier and push it out. You're literally doing the same thing inside of your house, which is extremely dangerous. Is the same thing they're doing with our own ionosphere right now for collective research reasons and in their own scientific methods, between government contracts, institutes, the new minds of college and academia. I am telling you right now, through collective research, that this is not new. And we're doing it in our own homes with the Wi-Fi. Stop adding Wi-Fi boosters. Or at least put a Wi-Fi cage over your shit. I'm just saying, because the frequencies are coming out of everything. Your cell phone, your TV, your damn refrigerator has a frequency now. Your dishwasher has a frequency now. How are the masses saying this is fake when you're living with it in your house? Damn cars got a frequency now. Teslas have a whole frequency. This stuff is not new. It keeps coming around and they're using it. Now, we're not done with the videos, okay? Now, before we get in this, in the rest of this little documentary, because it wasn't done, I just had to chime in. I wanted to relate all of this in together and let it be seen and known. I got some more literature too, all right? Some stuff for some independent minds. Excuse me when I'm, trying to let the gas out. Some stuff from some independent minds who did their own thesis, put it all together, collective research, guys, all right? Now, I'm going to play the video, take myself off the screen. You guys enjoy. Let me find it. Oh, wrong screen. Sorry. Stop sharing. That's what I'm on. Bingo. There you go. Show on stream. There you go, guys. Go ahead and finish that.
After you turn the instrument off, this thing kind of moves around and it gets replenished. And within a few minutes, it's back to where you can't even detect that there's a hole anymore.
The Air Force says that manipulating the ionosphere and studying the effect will allow them to improve the efficiency of communications, navigation, and surveillance systems. But researchers outside the military see HAARP as a high-tech weapon with global implications.
The way I see HAARP as it is right now, it is a premier, top-notch, high-energy radio physics experiment, and it has definite military applications.
Journalist Mark Farmer lives in Alaska and has written about the potential impact of HAARP for both Jane's Defense Weekly and Popular Science magazine. He believes that HAARP will be used to take giant X-rays of Earth.
Earth-penetrating tomography is a technique using extremely low-frequency radio waves. Today in geophysical probing, scientists will use explosives or a machine that thumps the ground to produce these waves, but HAARP will stimulate the auroral electrojet to make an antenna thousands of miles long that will emit these ELF waves.
Farmer's research indicates that the extremely low-frequency waves would be capable of penetrating several kilometers into the Earth, ferreting out nuclear storage facilities and other underground military installations.
This is producing surveillance systems able to detect stealthy cruise missiles and aircraft. These are systems that will enable us to communicate at higher data rates and at greater distances with our ballistic missile submarines.
While the Air Force insists HARP is not an offensive weapon and is necessary for continuing national security, Alaska native Nick Begich proposes a different scenario in this new book.
The things that we found in other Air Force documents, one in particular was a document put together in '82. The document was called Low Intensity Conflict in Modern Technology, with a foreword by none other than Newt Gingrich. In one section spoke about using radio frequency radiation transmitters for disrupting human thinking, for basically debilitating troops invisibly by being able to bombard them with radio frequency that was tuned to just the right frequency, in just the right waveform, so as to totally disrupt their mental process and basically.
Hold on. Pause. I'm back. Hold on. Listen. Now, what conversations have we had about voice to skull technology, Project Bluebeam, and a lot of the conversations we've had, right? Now, this is from 1995, people. The implications of this technology was known then. This is 1995. We've heard of all of the stories. This is where your voice to skull is coming from. This is where the fictionist characters put into the sky is coming from. And now you're hearing mind modification, mind manipulation. Collective research does say that this isn't fake. Why? Because now, what does this tie into? I don't want to say it. Someone say it. I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna put this back up here. There's a whole programs that started in the 60s and 70s dedicated to mind manipulation. Can anyone name what that is? I talk about it a lot. I do. Telling you now. Am I painting a picture for everyone? Okay. Now let's talk about the methods of use, right? We have quantum financial system coming up. We have blockchain showing up. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you, Miguel. 2 of them for you, my guy. Thank you. We're going to get back to that. Now, the implications of this are what we are hearing from our smart cities, are the quantum financial system, GESARA, NESARA. Okay. All of this technology is linked together, chains. We are only piecing them together from the outside, and when we get it from mainstream media, then it's like, okay, what is it then? And what did they tell you? It's not that. It's never that. But if you look at the stuff that I've just showed you and you're watching the video, you're saying something, but you're not saying the truth. I'm gonna say it again. They're saying something, but it's not necessarily the full truth. They're saying that they have the capability to do this. What they're not saying is they have the capability to do it against the masses. And this is just a theory that if this was something that was used against people, then maybe that would make sense, where we're seeing so many new devices pop up in cities. This is where you're starting to see your license plate readers. You're starting to see your sensors. I shared a video. I would say, I think it's on the Backwoods. Atlanta has all this new software and technology and hardware that reads people's gait patterns, basically your walk movements. It looks at you and can tell you who you are. China already has this. China already has it. China right now, if you say something wrong, they can deduct your bank account, and you can't do nothing without them knowing if you are on the wrong side of them. Again, the things that these people are saying in the videos and the stuff that I'm showing you is in motion. I shared last year the video where you can wave your hand now at a Whole Foods store and you can pay with your debit card. If you really religious people know what the mark of the beast is, and we talk about the microchips. Shout out to Kay Ivey for banning microchips in Alabama. Thank you. Okay, thank you. You would understand that with microchips, that's a conductor and a receiver. It's taking in and coming out. Your Bluetooth has an IP address. That's how it pairs to your phone. It has a frequency and an address. As long as it has them two things, they can pinpoint anything they need to. Allegedly, if they wanted to hit you with some type of like voice to skull theory, guess what? They got the brain sensors coming out. I just posted this video. I just posted it. It's either on the rabbit hole or it's on the backwoods. I'm telling you now, the stuff that I'm hearing people say it's fake. Listen to me. Stop playing with these people. Shots fired. Stop playing with these people, man. They are far advanced. They are not messing around. Listen, the lights can go out with a switch, a button. We've seen, what's the movie? Live Free, Die Hard. Fire Sale. Talked about that. I need everyone to understand that science is a lot further along than we think. Technology is a lot further along than we think. We get the commercial stuff after they get their use out of it. And that's just truth out of DARPA, all right? Now, I pull them back up right now, and after seeing everything and hearing everything, now when you look at this chart, I bet you look at this chart differently. I bet you do. Because now the picture has been painted through collective research and pattern recognition. Now, again, 5G, AI, 8chan, Microsoft, Facebook, Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is basically the hub. Silicon Valley is like a hub right now. And there's a new hub in the South. This is why they tried to move the Space Force to the South, because you guys got to pay attention, man. It's not what you think it is, man. It's a reason they didn't want to pull the Space Force and put them in Alabama. I'm just going to tell you that now. It's a legit reason. And if you think it's the reason because Colorado has the best everything, because they have the Air Force Academy, they have all the bases out there, they have all the Air Force toys out there in Denver, and Colorado is naturally strange and insulated as a state. That's not exactly why they kept it there. A lot of it has to do with Alabama being the original home to the Confederate. And in what's transpiring right now in collective research analyst methods and watching and pattern recognition, something would tell me that there's a reason you don't want to give Space Force to the South. Not with all them Air Force bases and bases down there. And we're going to get on that conversation later. But to remain on HAARP, what I'm saying is HAARP is running. CERN is running. The small hadron colanders are running. And if you don't believe me that there's something weird going on, like with all this stuff, I'm gonna show you a video that's gonna blow your effing mind. I'm gonna show you a whole ritual transpiring in Switzerland for the tunnels. Think I'm lying. I'm not. Give me a second. Just give me a second, guys. I want to show you guys something. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you don't think there's something going on, watch this. And this is gonna be the weirdest shit in the world. You're gonna be blowed. And this is gonna prove my point about a lot of things. I swear this is gonna prove my point about a lot of things. Gothard Base Tunnel opening ceremony. Now this tunnel leads to CERN. It's supposed to be used for a high-speed rail system. Excuse me. Again, the technology is there. The high-speed rail system is real, okay? It's already in... You want to see some strange shit? I'm gonna show you some strange shit for a little bit. I'm gonna mess with you real quick, okay? This is unedited part 1. All right, I'm gonna click over. Let me click over. That's the wrong screen. I'm gonna show you some of the weird. If you don't think what people are talking about are real with the rituals, I got something to show you right now. Feast your eyes. I'm gonna chop this up later, and I'm gonna make it a video. I lie to you not. This is real. This is real. Okay. Pause. 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 Okay. Stupid weird already. Give me a second. Pause. Listen, how weird is that? I don't care. I don't care what you thinking right now. Ain't no call for this. This is the bizarre opening ceremony for Gothard Base Tunnel Complete Unedited. This is surface level, okay? You understand, I didn't type in nothing special. I typed in Switzerland Ceremony Tunnel on YouTube. This is what shows up. Listen to me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, okay? This is surface level. This ain't nothing hidden. This ain't like this ain't no deep state QN and BS. This is clearly out in the open. This tells me one thing. This tunnel, whatever they're doing with CERN in Switzerland and all that, it's so bad they had to put it on YouTube just to absolve themselves. In collective research theory. Collective research theory says we had to tell the truth so quickly because the intentions in which we're working in is that messed up. Now, before I start this, feel free to follow me. Feel free to donate. I'm taking stars. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. The shows are getting better, right? I'm a little bit more organized now. I'm getting good, man. We're going to hit play. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get weird. Pause. Listen to me. Do you notice that there's an audience? I wonder who's in that audience. I wonder who's sitting there for this. Because clearly it's an invite only. Clearly. I'm gonna speed up. I'm gonna speed up to some other stuff, right? We're gonna move along because it gets stranger, right? I'm gonna show you some insanely strange shit. Insanely strange shit. Now, I want you to understand right now, what you're watching right now is the working force. That is the middle class people. The middle class are being ushered in by the droves. The ants come marching one by one. Hoorah, hoorah. The ants, Bugs Life, Disney. I'm going to throw it into collective research. All right. Shots fired. Shots fired on a whole organization right now. Shots fired. All right. Now, watch this. Pause. So everybody didn't climb to the top. Everybody didn't climb the chains of slavery to the top, and everybody else scurrying around like roaches and shit, right? Okay. All right. Tell me I'm bullshitting. Just to go ahead. Just feel free. Feel free. I want to find. Here we go. We getting weird soon. Where it at? Right here. I just had to speed it up. No matter. I just want to see certain. Pause. Make it make sense. Look, man, this whole conversation started on the fact that his heart right. A lot of this is tied in. For anyone popping in now, listen. This is the fact that I'm trying to prove a point about everything going on right now through collective research theory. Collective research theory says that there's something weird going on with our elected officials and our celebrities and the people that we hold so near and dear to our hearts. Listen, those same people are at this event right now. This is the Gothard base tunnel for the rail system underground, which leads to CERN. All right, how this all tied in is because we talked about HAARP, the semi-fake aurora borealis, and now we're looking at how weird all this is. This is my point. I'm gonna play this last clip, and this is my point. Pause. Slap the person in the damn mask. What is that? Listen, this is what? What's that? We can't make this up. No one is making this stuff up. I'm sorry. In collective research and pattern recognition, we understand something. If it's weird and it keeps getting weird, damn it, it's a weirdo. I don't know. My point to all of this is, right, I'm going to take this down. Where's my face? Where's my face? I'm going to take this down. Wrong one. My point to all of this conversation tonight is y'all gonna stop sitting here telling us this ain't real. Y'all gonna stop sitting here telling us we're conspiracy theorists like it's a dirty word. I'm here to tell you now, on the broad spectrum of weirdness, don't nothing beat what I just shown you and what we went through the last hour. If you just chimed in, when I get off of this show, go back tomorrow on your drive to work and just play it. I know a lot of y'all got cell phone holders in your car, so don't act like you can't prop your phone up and drive safely. Don't text and drive. What I'm saying is you can play this throughout the audio and you can still hear me tell you and explain this to you how this is working. You can listen to it. You ain't even got to watch it. These people are weird. If you don't think secret societies aren't real and you don't think that there's something fishy going on, damn all the deep state and QAnon shit. This ain't the Bolshevik conflict, guys. Listen, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Where it at? These people, quit playing with them. Quit playing with them, because their reach and their control is vast. And the fact that this is on the internet right now with 78,000 views tells me that they had to put it out on Dark Horse News. Stop playing, man. Let's get past all the deep state, QAnon, all this reset and awakening. Let's get away from all that. Let's go to cold hard facts. Cold hard facts, guys. Cold hard facts says there's something strange going on. And I don't care what you call them. You call them the Illuminati. You call them the Bilderberg Club. Yes, only 78,000, Daniel. That's the most insane aspect. Now, this isn't the only place playing this video. Now, this video's on multiple pages. Now, I'm sure the numbers are better, but I'm telling you now, on this page 6 years ago, Dark Horse News, weirdness. And this video's been out for some time. This is like 2012, if I'm not mistaken, because CERN got built, like, I think they completed it 2012. CERN has been done for a minute. CERN was not the first. America had the first small colliders early. CERN is the big boy shit. Like, it's like they basically figured out the small ones work, so they took it to a larger scale. And when they took it to a larger scale, they finally got cooking. Now they cooking. They cooking with grease right now. Listen, they got ULF and high frequency on lock. Proven on lock. This ain't no conspiracy theory. This is collective research showing you they have it on lock. They had a whole research program this past weekend. They have this stuff, without a doubt, on lock. This ain't no secret. This ain't even a conspiracy theory. This is just research. The video was to prove how weird they are. I just had to prove a point. This is out there. You think the Bohemian Grove video was weird? Please, that takes the cake. That takes it. And if you think that I'm making it up, guess what? I'm gonna do you a solid favor. Do you a solid favor. I'm gonna share it to you without the tracking. You know why? Because I love you guys. You don't believe me? Here's all the links. There you go. You don't believe me? Here's all your links. You can go through it. You can look through it. Feel free. I'm not making any of this up. All this stuff has been known for some time now. So much known that, like, they put it out early back in the day. Like, they actually put that information out and act like it didn't happen. It happened. There you go. This is what we call collective research and analytics, collective research analytics, pattern recognition analytics. All right. We no longer go by conspiracy theorists or truthers. We go by collective research analysts, pattern recognition specialists. Because I can tell you now, that ain't the first ritual they done, and I can show you video awards. We ain't even gonna do video awards tonight. I'll do it eventually. I just don't do it because it's too easy. But I'm telling you now, it's out there, it's happening, it's going on. The mainstream media is not fully telling you the whole truth. They are telling you some truth. They aren't telling you the full truth. The Aurora Borealis is real. It is a beautiful sight. It is the Most High made. It is whoever you believe is the Most High who created this plane and this atmosphere and this beautiful place that we call home and earth in America. There are things we do not understand about where we exist at. There are things we have not been told about where we exist at, and there are things about our past we have not been told about. And that goes for every race, color, and creed. I ain't even got to make it a black and white thing. It's too easy. So this is what I'm saying to you before I get off of here. Stop playing with these people, because the research is showing you that this is nothing to them. They've already figured it out. They figured this out years ago. Frequency, high and low, harmonics, sound rockets, sounding rockets. So when you hear those trumpets, that's frequency. That's frequency. When you see colors in the sky, that's frequency. When you hear about the ground shaking and people say, man, they may have turned on CERN or they may have turned on HAARP, you better ask Turkey how weird it got right before they had their big earthquake. Ask Japan how weird it got before they had theirs. And I bet you if you ask Haiti how weird it got before they had theirs, I bet you there's something in common. I bet you if they look up in the sky, the clouds were weird that day. Because these antennas stretch everywhere. Believe me or not, can neither confirm or deny. I can just tell you right now, they have high frequency and they have ultra low frequency and very low frequency. And we're stuck in the middle. Daniel, I ain't even we're not even gonna go there, buddy. We're not. Because we just proved it. We just proved it with the low frequency. So if seismic activity is based on tectonic plates and frequency, self-explanatory, this whole entire show, the last hour and 13 minutes and counting, just proved my whole entire point. Ultra low frequency, high frequency can be manipulated. They're manipulating it now. They had a whole research program this past weekend. Hey, Roger, come on back, man. When I get out this show, bro, listen, a hell of a show tonight. Absolutely hell of a show tonight, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you talking to me. Yo, we got into our bag tonight, meat and potatoes. I put it out there tonight. And listen, Roger, we got a new term. We are no longer conspiracy theorists. You will address us by collective research analyst. I go by a new term. It's CRA, and I'm putting that in my bio. I'm a collective research analyst. Collectively, we're coming together sharing information, but on our own, we all got our own niches. Some of y'all are covering Egypt. Some of y'all are covering the Anunnaki. Some of y'all are covering the deep state. Same thing. Some of y'all are covering the Illuminati. Everybody's covering bits and pieces of the same information. Guess what? When we come in my live and we have a conversation, guess what we are? We're collective research analysts discussing pattern recognition analytics and discussing what our findings are from each other. Thank you. Before I go tonight, I want to tell you I appreciate you. Again, follow all my pages. Hit my link. Where is it at? Put my link space in there. You guys donate to the Daily Rabbit Hole. Your stars are appreciated. Your likes are appreciated. The shares. Hey, share this show tonight. Share. Share the show tonight. All right. This is going to go down as when you guys look back at it and they're like, yo, Blue Beam show up. We're going to come back to this video as a reference. Okay. All right. Now, follow my pages. Feel free to donate. Like I said, thank you. You guys stay safe and keep up the good fight. You have a good night.